Hi, this is an update to my 36-gallon Bowfront saltwater reef aquarium. It's been just about over a year that I've had this set up. I haven't had an update in a while, so a lot of changes have come into play in this tank. As you can see from the picture here, I've got quite a few things in there. Um, when I buy stuff at the store, I usually get small plugs or frags, to keep things in perspective with the tank. It's a small tank, so I get small things for it. I don't get large corals or anything like that. As far as how the tank is doing, like I said, it's been just about over a year that I've set this up. It looks like it's maturing very nicely. Over the past few months, I've battled all sorts of things like cyanobacteria and green algae and blooms here and blooms there. Right now, my coralline algae, a lot of it has bleached off. I really don't know why. I mean, for a while I was dosing the tank with kalkwasser to try to keep the calcium levels up and the alkalinity up. I stopped doing all of that stuff. Right now I'm just letting the tank be the way that it is. I do water changes once a week. I use Coral Pro salt. I do about 5% water changes every week, every Saturday without fail. Sometimes when I get these blooms, I'll do water changes 2 times a week. I'll do it on a Wednesday and on a Saturday, just so until the algae problem clears up. But for the most part, the tank is here. It provides me a lot of enjoyable viewing. I really like it. I enjoy going to the aquarium every couple of weeks and picking up another small little frag. I've got quite a few things in here. Let's start off with this corner. Let's zoom in. I'll give you everything that I have. On that corner there, I have mushrooms, little blue mushrooms that I got a rock from the store and just put it there, and it's growing. They've kind of spread over to the rock on the right. Originally I had gotten the little rock on the left here. That's what came from the store, and it was full of mushrooms, and they're starting to grow to other pieces of the tank. On the top I have some favites, and I have this little mace brain coral, and I have like a flower pot coral that's been in there for a little bit. It's doing quite nicely. Here it looks like those are more like zinnias and button polyps on that piece of rock right there. They're doing fine. Let's zoom down here. Green star polyps, rug type coral, they're doing really good. They're kind of, when I got that rock, they really weren't as spread out as they are now. This is a very fast growing coral. It looks like the rock is just about consumed by the coral, and they're going to start moving over to other areas of the tank. Over there in the back I have a frog spawn. On the front here are my zoas. I have a little zoa garden there going. As you could see in that picture right there, the pulsing zinnias, they were volunteers from the main pulsing zinnias that I'll get to in a little while. It looks like little pieces of it break off, and then they flow in the water, and then they attach to a rock, and then they start growing. So the pulsing zinnias, I'm starting to become a little bit concerned, because if I let them be, they're going to just overtake the tank. As we move over this way, as you can see, some of the cyanobacteria on the sand bed there, I struggle with it. I try to keep the tank as clean as possible, but it just is there. Here is another orange mushroom rock that I got from the store. They're doing pretty well. Pieces of it, they break off. Also, they also break off and float in the water, and then they find themselves somewhere on another piece of rock, and they attach to the rock and they start growing there as well. Over here I have the acans I just got. In the foreground I have some acans that I just got this weekend. They're a new addition to the tank. Behind the acans, button polyps, and behind the button polyps, a hammer coral. And as we zoom over this way, another little acan piece of frag there that I got this weekend when I picked up the other one. Behind that is, I believe that's called, I don't remember the name. Here we have a nice torch coral where the clownfish is, it calls it home. The clownfish and the coral there. Little plate coral here in the front, little orange plate coral. There's some trumpet corals here. Right behind there is another frog spawn, a different variety of frog spawn. And as we move up here, blastos and another brain coral. And then I forget the name of these on the top there. I think there are 5 of these. I'm not sure. Somebody correct me on that. They're starting to see that little rock. I bought that as a little cube frag, and as you can see, the coral has now overtaken the cube, and it's now spreading onto the main rock behind it, which means it's doing some good growth there. Kind of like it. It's right by the pump there, providing it nice fresh water flow. Let's go down here in the back there. Those are the pulsing zinnias. I want to get rid of them. That's one of the first corals that I bought when I got the tank about a year ago. It's like one of the really first corals. They've really grown, and as you can see, bits and pieces of it, they break off and they float in the water, and they find themselves another piece of rock, and then they attach to the rock and they start growing. As you can see, I don't know if you could, oh yeah, behind that trumpet coral, if you could see a piece of pulsing zinnia. It was a little tiny piece, and now it's growing. It's really growing. As a matter of fact, it's concerning me. I don't want my tank to be overrun by pulsing zinnia, so I may start to pull that out. And then up here we have, this is called a Duncan coral. Pretty nice. I think it's got 4 or 5 heads. That's a nice looking coral there. Doing pretty good. And as we zoom back out, take a look at the tank. That's how it looks. In there for cleaning crew, I have 3 medium-sized turbo snails. I have the clownfish. The clownfish was the first thing that I put in the tank, and it's been there for a year, so I must be doing something right. I recently added another pump. You know, when I first got the tank, I just had that pump over here on the side, providing the water flow. I'm thinking that because I've been getting these blooms, that maybe the water flow wasn't as good as it needed to be. So I went out and bought another pump. So now I've got 2 pumps in the tank. That's like a Coralia, medium-sized Coralia pump. Looking forward to start putting in maybe 1 or 2 SPS corals in there. I'm not really I'm not really trying to get an SPS tank, but my wife thinks that 1 or 2 pieces of SPS, hardy SPS corals, might look good in the tank. So I may do that in the next few weeks. Pick up an SPS coral. You know, in the year that I've had the tank, I've only lost 2 corals. I had a small frag of a Montipora capricornus. It didn't last too long. It lasted maybe 3 months, and it bleached over. And that's probably because, you know, that is an SPS coral. Maybe my tank isn't set up for SPS corals. It's maybe not as clean. Maybe the water isn't flowing as much as the SPS corals need. I know that they're very demanding corals. They have high requirements. So that's probably my fault why I lost that coral. I just shouldn't have put it in there in the first place. The other coral that I lost was, I had a Recordia, which is like a mushroom type coral. One day he just vanished, never to be seen again. I don't know what happened to it. One day I noticed it was gone. Now, don't know if it was covered by sand. Maybe one day I was cleaning the tank and I covered it with sand and it died. I don't know. It's just, it's gone. It's missing, never to be seen again. Other than that, every coral that I've added in here has survived. I'm just going to take the camera off the tripod here because I'm going to show you the back. What I got. Let's see if I can do this. I have my refugium. As you can see, it's got some coralline algae growing on the side of the acrylic side there. Inside, maybe you can see that, but it's just, I have some rubble rock in there. As you can see, it still has some of that cyanobacteria or some of that red algae growing on there. Other than that, I think I'm doing pretty good with the tank. I mean, I really enjoy looking at it every day. The maintenance, once a week I change the water. Every few days I scrape the glass just to make sure that no algae builds up on the glass. That's it. 1 year update of my 36-gallon bow front saltwater reef aquarium. Thank you.